Hello beans, I'm Roy. Welcome to this video. It's Good Friday today. What a great day. So everyone's chilling and relaxing, and I thought it'd be a good day to post some bits and pieces up. I've put 3 PDFs on Facebook and LinkedIn, and this video will be available on YouTube, and links for all 3, there you are going to be on roydow.com and changetheworldnow.org. Okay, it's time to start thinking about different things. Why am I doing this? Why am I saying all these things, posting all this stuff up there, and what does it all mean? Well, the PDFs, I've done videos before, bits and pieces, not with a huge uptake, and I just view that as a practice run. Now things are a little bit more intense in the sense of what's happening, so you need to be aware. I feel inclined to say this now, so I'm just sharing for what it's worth. It may appeal to some people, and it won't appeal to all, but for all who listen, it will be helpful. I'm going to begin next week. I'm going to start getting everything that I need to begin doing some Zoom-like broadcasts. And I'll be doing this on a daily basis, and they will cycle weekly, and they will change slightly weekly. And the reason why I'm going to cycle, this is the plan, and this is all unrehearsed, it's unscripted. It's just, I'm just winging it. I'm just doing it because it needs to be done now. So as I cycle through, when I do, if let's take for example Zoom at the moment is something that I'm looking at, if I so it's up and running and I get up to 100 people on there at a time, and to cycle through, and then Monday to Friday with more expansion and in-depth discussions about this and more and future and stuff. Then I'll cycle again, like Monday I'll go back and do again on Monday, and in time be able to look at any questions raised, but that's not the purpose. The purpose is to share with a view to pictures being sown in your mind so that your awareness expands. Truth becomes a part of you. It becomes a part of your knowing. Okay? A lot of people, please don't take this the wrong way. I'm seeing like a lot of posts again, and this is all in the sense of all things that are well intended. You know, like being. You know, just be. You know, you say that to 99% of the world, and just do this, or just do this, or just do this. It's to say what to do when you're doing it is different to say how to do it, because you have a full understanding. I'm not saying that people don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that greater depth and explanation as to reasons why and how are always needed. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this now, because there is a lot more. So this basically is bringing together everything. I think on one of the, I'm trying to make this as short as possible as well. It's 4 minutes already. On one of the PDF descriptions, I wrote something. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, so the point is that this, there's references to religion. This basically shows things from start to finish. If you look at the second one, the first one, which was a section of this at the top, this is the third one, which obviously I've just rubbed off the other one, the first one, and the first one contained the first PDF, which is this section. Again, it's just referencing back to Tesla and the 369 secrets of the universe, blah 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 blah, and it just shows you, just I thought quite in a cute way, you can see the little dotted circle at the top, up this section here of the sheet. If you can see that, you can't see that very well, can you? Hold on there. So here we've got the 369, and just at the top here you can see the little red circle when the single dot and the two joined. Well, that's literally just creation, and we go from there. We add one, we add one, we add one, and then we get the triangle, the tetrahedron, and my hexahedron. All right, the hexahedron is not the cube. Yeah, the cube is the illusion. Okay, so, and perspectives here. I'm not just dissing Plato. I still believe it's an error. It's not a cosmic reference, it's an illusion reference based on two-dimensional visualizations on paper, or whatever was used at the time. So anyway, if we go back to the number 1, well, so we can see there we've got the 369 and it relates to all this, and we can see it's based on a 3-dimensional, not a 2-dimensional interpretation. Yeah, and the squares are taken off of sides of triangles conveniently, which is quite misleading because you don't then make them with this. The whole point of this is to just show growth in this exactly the same way as we can see in the atomic structure of elements. You know, I bought this last week, and it shows, you know, like this. Can you see this here? It shows the layout of protons, neutrons and electrons, because I haven't studied any of this, and I just wanted to quickly get my head around it so that I could just adapt that into my explanations of stuff. Because when you consider the notion of neutron, proton forming the nucleus and the electrons whizzing round, to my mind, what they're whizzing round in, once they're stable, in the sense of that stability, hydrogen, there's helium, you know, go past beryllium and everything else and get to carbon 666, you know, carbon 666, us. You know, and all these references in all the old documents, in the sense of, this is just a big chemistry map. Yeah, there's the document. It's called this, book of this, book of this, book of this, book of Job. I've seen the face of God and his face is Peniel. You know, Jesus, Joseph, whatever, fish. Yeah, they're all the same thing. In a nutshell, modern Christianity, without exception, this is the notion of someone called Jesus Christ returning to save and resurrect everyone is a lie. Now this is a fact, okay? The reason why I did just to come back on the first one, and it's just a deception based on ignorance and convenience at the time of Constantine. It's an absolute nonsense, and it's time to go back because we need to make changes now. And these changes are on a society level and a personal level based on growth. There's big passings coming, okay? And some people will wake up elsewhere. It's the continuation. And these are the seeds of now. For those that are to continue, because we utilise this same form in the next density. All right, it's sensible, it's convenient. The continuation of the utilisation of what we call this planet, for those in the 4th density, and this is where the overlap comes in. This awareness now is, and so many people are saying so many good things, but this is just adding to stuff. Yeah, me showing my awareness to facilitate more amongst the masses, more opportunity for growth beyond. When you embrace truth, it takes you beyond. You're growing, aren't you? You're growing with it. Yeah. And in these videos that I'm going to do, I shall look at things like being, and I'll look at things like in more explanation with regards to this, and with regards this big toroidal, this universe. Think of this, just of the electromagnetic outpourings of the mass That is everything moving around, you know, one like the other. This is on number 2, sorry, the PDF number 2. So we've got the atom, the earth, the sun, you know, and everything in between. It's all the same. If you look at Pinterest, is got some wonderful images, and YouTube, some wonderful. It's so noisy, guys. I'm just going to shut this window. Excuse me. It's a bit noisy there. Sorry, it's the lorikeets. Anyway, so yes, male, female, negative, feminine, male, feminine. Add 1 from start to finish. On the second one, like this one, I also put just extra references in relation to what we think of in the sense of the big G. So here we can see, look, I am, I know, I will not. You know, I will and will not is positive and negative streams, and then we come down and we can see, if we look at the tree of life, for example, we've got the various pathways that represented differently here. This would be in the centre and these would be either side. And remember that when you look at it, you're backing into what you see on that representation. I've got one somewhere. And all the atoms, think about these as a 3-dimensional form. Okay, that's moving. That's the atom and its electrons whizzing round. They're whizzing round in a pattern that would show the structure. With regards, it's, you know, things are repeated in life. When we see the golden ratio here, here's the sun, yeah, and the sun is moving on this path, and we can see here again the sun, and radially we can see spread out, and there is an absolutely wonderful animation of the helical vortex that is the progress of our solar system through space. And it's just, you can imagine it coming on this big donut as it, you know, goes over, and what we see, in what position are we in relation to everything else? Well, when you think of it all an illusion and you come back to the very basics, you know, then we're outside of this. Then we get down to the nitty gritty, and this is why being is just not enough. Right now, you need more. And this is what I'm going to give to you. And I will do this constantly, and I'm going to charge it. It's going to be a ticketed thing. Cheap as chips. But it's still that intention. It's still the focus, the commitment. All right? Anyway, so the big G is knowing, based on experience, which is being. Yeah, human being, woman being, yeah? Carbon 666. That's just references back to the formations again. Think about this in perspective, looking down, and we can see it going down. When you look at a sunflower, you know, and you've got this lovely arcs, and the ratio of anti-clockwise and clockwise in, for example, a sunflower, well, actually, you can count the arms all the way round as they oppose each other, and you'll find that the numbers in opposition represent the division, which is expressed in the golden ratio as a fraction, yeah, and that's, you know, whatever it is. So this is perspective. So obviously there's perspective on a road. We can see down the road, we can see down the vortex. There's the planets on the radial arm. So life is G, being, so just be. So that's what it's, I mean, this is it in a nutshell, the whole thing. But it's hard to grasp it when it's like thrown like that, sort of. I imagine it being. So, +1, +1, +1, +1, +1. And if you look at number 1, no, sorry, sheet number 2, you can see all the way down this side here, you've got references. It starts off 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. It's it's just a simple binary, yeah, over the 3, isn't it? It's just adding 1 each time. And here's what's missed out, all the things that are missed out between, up to this point here, look, between helium and lithium. And you can see this whole row of numbers here. These are all the protons, neutrons and electrons, okay? It's very straightforward, this stuff. It's just all interlinked. So it's time to forget religion, and it's time to really think about the future now. So very quickly, you know, you think about Putin and the Russians, I'm amazed at things that I've seen there. I still can't get over this notion of driving a tank onto a moving car that's carrying civilians and you just run it over. The mess and the chaos. It's, you know, a week and a half ago, I looked at a map and bearing in mind that Putin said like 6 weeks ago, let's sit around the negotiating table, I just want Crimea. And everyone's like, no. And so he's just gone boof, and then he's got Crimea and pulled everything else back because he's got what he wants. Job done. So it all finished now. But I don't see why that needs to push the price of everything up the way it has. That's a nonsense. You know, it's unfair. And that's because the world is unfair. And the world needs to change, because in the videos that I'm going to give, I'm going to emphasize again the warnings that I've given before in the sense of balance. Okay? And there are a lot of things that you need to be aware of in the sense of what's coming and how quickly that may well come for some. So the notion of being prepared really comes home. And I'll explain this, okay? So this is really just to try and give the whole picture and show how Tree of Life and Chemistry 101 and, you know, atomic physics and, you know, thinking about reductions and reductions and reductions going back in atomic physics and all the speculation. You know, think of anything that we teach today. Basically, school today is a waste of time up until the age of we get 13. Yeah, but I'll go into this. I'll go into this and why. And this is sowing seeds for all the changes that are coming. Okay, and that will come. And this is based on a collective awareness shifting. All right. So my name is Roy, and I'll see you again sometime in the next 7 to 10 days. And this is for you to sit. This is all you need to know, in the sense of what is, but just the notion of being and why and how to change and why it's important now and what's coming and everything else I'll do in the weekly videos that I will repeat, so that new people can join each time and we can get this constant growth of expanded awareness. This is the purpose, okay? The tickets are going to be about $25 each a ticket, and this is going to facilitate the growth in other areas that's needed. The profits, everything's going to go to good use, okay? Including me, because I'm going to focus on this because it's a very big time of change, all right? So in the interim, I hope that this and the other two and this video, especially these, you know, this and the other one, there's a lot there. You know, it's, in a nutshell, everything begins with nothing. There's your illusion, okay? So, this is me signing off. Watch this space. I'll put stuff on Facebook and LinkedIn when I'm starting. I'll probably start it on a Monday, but I don't know. I'm just going to start it. I'm winging everything, basically, because that's the best place to come from. Okay, stay safe. Love all round because it's free.